Hi, welcome to Radio FM 88 Australia. We're broadcasting live from the studios in Springwood. You can actually catch us live listening to the radio FM 88.0. You can listen on the download app, or you can listen through the website radiofm88.com.au. And of course, if you happen to be on Facebook and you've been or YouTube and you've seen the show go live, welcome. And today it's been an instrumental show because it was thrown at me yesterday afternoon when I happened to be in the Gold Coast and said, look, these two lovely ladies have come up into Brisbane here and they are part of a new project. And this new project is to do with what I consider it to be an important part of our human existence, and that's aged care and disability. And more importantly, the fact that a lot of females now are becoming single, and they're in their late 50s and 60s, and there's going to be a whole range of females coming through, which I feel will be living in single forms of accommodation or sharing with other females. Whilst they may be resolute and they may be knowing how to shop at Aldi and Woolies and Coles, there are times you may have a fall and you may require services. And of course, let's not say that some of the males out there, after a recent divorce or separation, may be looking for someone who could just step up to the plate and just give them a hand, whether it's to go shopping or putting a meal together or just simply taking them for a trip down to the bank, do the banking, all these little things that we who are able-bodied and got a vehicle, we can get out and about. But these two ladies are currently sitting with me in the studio. I'll just move them around so you see where we're coming from. We'll go over here. So on the left of the screen is Lynda, and on the right, Valerie. They've both come together today to talk about a business model. They've called themselves Kaleidoscope Carers, and they've abbreviated it to kcarers.com, made it easier. You can go on Facebook, their site follows that pursuit, K-Carers, and they're here today just to give you an insight to a holistic approach to life and what their organisation wishes to achieve and do. So when I heard about it, I thought, right, let's just move mountains and let's make this happen. So that's why we're in the studio today without any pre-publicity, because it was just, we had to work with the girls. They had a lot of engagements and meetings today, and it just so happened they fitted it in right now. So that's mean, without further ado, I'll go straight to, we've got two, so it's any, mini, miny, mo. So let's go with the left. Let's go to Lynda and say, Lynda, what brought you on board? What made you take on board this project?
Well, Adma's our CEO, and I have a long history with managing aged care facilities in Sydney. And when she approached me, her whole view on caring for the elderly or people with disabilities really fascinated me. It was a holistic approach of caring for people and keeping them in their own homes, providing holistic care around cleaning and shopping, helping them if they had to do errands or anything to do with keeping them in their own home and not putting them in aged care facilities. And the most important thing was around multiculturalism, so trying to match up carers, that if they were Chinese or Indian or African, if they had language barriers, so we would try and match up people to give them their own languages, keep them in their own homes and their own cultural environments. And that was something that really interested me. And the most important thing also was that continuity of care. So if they had a carer that was coming to, say, clean their house every week, instead of chopping and changing and giving them different people that come all the time over months and months of care, that they started to form a relationship, and that person hopefully would become like a member of their own family and a friend. So I really liked the business model, and it really intrigued me to come on board.
I'm going to talk from personal experience because my mum and dad lived in their family home for over 62 years. Mum got crook and passed away, so Dad had the choice of living in the family home, but he decided to actually move in with my brother. You're quite correct. There's nothing better than being able to put your hand up and getting a carer who comes in this case 6 days a week for my dad. Yeah, sure, it's only for an hour, but there's that social interaction the actual communication and talking, as well as simply making a bed and just making a cup of tea. You just don't realise how important it is for personal human contact. And that's the nature of your business, I mean.
It is,
Yeah.
yes.
So, Valerie, what brought you on board?
Well, I have known Adama as an acupuncturist and a traditional Chinese medicine practitioner for a number of years. We have worked together since 2009 in different projects. And when she proposed to manage this business, I jumped in because, like Lynda, I saw that we need a different approach to taking care of our older adults and people with disabilities. By different approach, I mean approaches that consider also their choices in healthcare that they have done throughout their life, and the choices that they have done nutritionally throughout their life. We've seen too many times that people has taken care of themselves in their lifestyle, doing exercise, eating healthily, and going to alternative practitioners that work together with their standard medical care to keep health and their well-being. And when they get to a stage where they can't take care of themselves, then they don't have enough choices to continue doing that self-care that they are used to. So when Adama said, I want to have a company that provides that, this health, well-being, and longevity option to the care, disability care or age care that people need to have when we become a bit more vulnerable and a little bit less able to do things. I want to offer people the possibility of continuing with that type of care throughout their life. And I saw that the project I fell in love with it. So as a nutritionist and a biologist, I've worked also with many years in the community sector, in the business side of it. I saw that there is a need there, and we have the means to fulfill that need very well. So that's where we are now.
So registering a company is one thing, and then getting its personnel is another.
Yeah.
Of course, Australia moved across to the NDIS scheme of being a benevolent institution for helping and assisting older Australians and those with disabilities. So what's the next step there? Are you looking to tap into the NDIS? I mean, have you put your credentials forward? And then, of course, you two girls are suitably qualified, to be perfectly honest with you, to walk straight in the door, I would have thought.
Yes, so we will definitely be doing the NDIS. We've started putting out our employment for looking at having great staff on board. We're very proactively putting in a really robust training scheme. We are going to be offering Cert 3 training, traineeships for all of the staff. We will be putting in train the trainer programs. We'll be mentoring the staff with buddy systems, because we believe that the most important thing in our business is going to be our staff as well as our recipients, equally as important as each other. And the training and mentoring programs that we will be implementing will be very, very robust, and it will give the staff an opportunity to not only work for an organisation that's holistic, but also is going to educate, mentor and train them in holistic care. And Adama, our CEO, is a doctor and is an acupuncturist, and she will impart her holistic knowledge to them, and also help them understand that it's not all about just putting pills and medicine in someone, that there's other things that they can perhaps have, say a ginger tea or a chamomile tea, or maybe trying to get them to go for a gentle walk if they're having some problems with some edema, that there are other options out there than just sitting a sedentary life. We will also be putting together, having a registered nurse come on board that will oversee the training of the staff as well. So we have some amazing future plans for the business. We'll be going into the aged care sector, so we will be looking at that as stage 2 of the business, and we'll be overseeing all of that. But the disability services will be definitely the first phase of where Kaleidoscope Care will go.
So I noticed you're registered primarily in Queensland, so the website sort of signifies the local area here of Springwood. So I take it your core location services will probably be Brisbane and the Gold Coast?
It will be. And then what we will do is, during the client mapping process, we will ensure that our care coordinators will be in the similar area to the recipients, so they will understand their local community, the areas where they live in, that they will be familiar with them. So we're not going to have someone who lives in the Gold Coast servicing a recipient who lives in the Brisbane area, but yes, we will be servicing the Greater Brisbane and the Gold Coast area in the initial phases of the business.
For people who are watching, when Lynda mentioned Greater Brisbane, that would signify Redlands out to the bay on the eastern side of Brisbane. It would cover Redcliffe, Margate, the northern side of Brisbane, southern side of Brisbane, Logan City, and probably Moreton Shire, which would probably be more Ipswich. It's a bulk of the population. And Gold Coast, of course, is Brisbane, Gold Coast, and Logan. These are 3 largest cities in Queensland. Yeah, there's a bulk of the population, probably in excess of 2.5 million, I would have thought.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big area, isn't it? A lot of influx here of New Zealanders, and they can't sort of put their hands up to get any benefits. But they're great workers, and the great empathy of humanitarian skills that they process. I suppose you probably look towards the New Zealand personnel for your staff.
Yeah, and when one of the things that you are pointing also is that we will also offer services for people that cannot access, the care packages that the government offers, and our rates. One of the things that we have in our motto is affordable, flexible care, so that we can service also those people that might not be able to access government support initially or permanently, but that they can also access our services. That it's very important for us to be able to service people that of let's say all walks of life, in terms of cultural background, cultural beliefs, and also financial backgrounds.
Hey, I noticed that Australians can get a bit stroppy at times when they feel that everybody else can just hop on a boat and come into Australia and get all these benefits. So, as an Australian listening to this, are you saying that you would acknowledge their cultural differences to the rest of the world? Being an Aussie, he's paid their taxes, and that's. I'm just saying. I hear that all the time. Would they be able to step up and put their hand up and say, "Excuse me, can I have some help?"
Yeah, I mean, we will offer private services too. That's what I'm saying, and the private services will be affordable enough for someone that has a normal income, or a family that has normal incomes to pay for the care of their older adults or people with special needs.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, we what I mean with that is, as private service providers, we will not just market to the people that has the wealth to access private services.
Hey, 2 weeks ago, I happened to be at Bunnings, and this gentleman had a ute chock-a-block full of tools and stuff, and he said, "Is that your car?" I said, "Yes, it is." And he said, "Oh, look, I've just moved my car out and backed it in." He said, "Just give us some space." I said, "Okay." Conversation became really interesting because, first of all, his wife, partner-to-be, was in NDIS. She was a carer. And secondly, he was a New Zealander, and he was explaining to me that those New Zealanders who hadn't come across before the threshold set up, he said, with the way the virus came through last year, he said they couldn't get job keeper and job seeker. And so he said there's 3,000 of them, New Zealanders living on the Gold Coast, are homeless. They just don't have the money, resources to actually get on a plane and fly back to New Zealand and go into 14-day quarantine. So they were sleeping in the cars and then going to Lifeline or Salvos or churches who supplied food hampers and so forth. Where, if anything, would that sit in your model that you're talking about, or are we talking about those who currently have current premises, and then they, just like my mum and dad in their 90s, they had that opportunity of living at home, and then someone like yourself could come in and help? Are we just whereabouts are we with the whole package that you're offering here?
Yeah, we what we are offering is home care services.
Right.
So the services we do is home cleaning, housekeeping, providing for meals and meals with nutrition content. Not just sugar and with enough vitamins and minerals, etc. We provide also for company. We provide for help with mobility issues, transport to go to the doctor's visits, to the shopping centers, all that kind of services that help people to stay in their homes. Unfortunately, we cannot provide services to the homeless. And as you mentioned in the introduction, in Australia, the homeless population that is growing faster is women over 50, but we don't have the capacity and it's not at the moment in our business model to be able to offer services to that sector of the population.
No, it all comes back to what's your core business, isn't it? So you just can't be everything to anybody, everybody to anything. Just trying to get my words there.
It's another another business. Let's say it's another sector of offering help to other populations of other parts of the population. Yeah.
Well, that's your business plan. Yeah, it's your model there, and I can see from Lynda's background there, she's got the skills there from the administration and management, which that in itself can be a real head job, trying to get documentation in place for bureaucracy and meeting their rites of passage, and quite often they can be quite frustrating dealing with public servants who are following some mandate. So you really have to understand public service speak. A bit awkward at times. I don't trust it. Lynda, you've been in the environment long enough to know that how to get across that minefield.
Yes, it's very full on, but it's necessary. It's a necessary scenario to ensure that recipients are cared for appropriately and all the documentation is done as it should be, and as that is coming out with the Aged Care Royal Commission. There'll be necessary changes to ensure that everybody's doing the right thing. It's checks and balances, and yes, it is very labour intensive, but it's necessary to keep everybody looked after properly.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few incidents taking place both in Cairns just the other day when court made a decision there with that gentleman got 18 months. We've had the young lady over Browns Plains there ringing the police and losing her life. So all these protocols that are put in place and it's all documentation so lawyers can have a field day later on in it. So sometimes you actually lose the benefit of what you're there for, which is to help people, isn't it? Because you've got just teams of people trying to do paperwork to meet compliance.
It is true. It is very time consuming, the compliance, but it's necessary as a document trail of what the work that you're doing.
So you mentioned Cert 3. So what would be the minimum requirements for someone knocking on your door and say, look, I'd like to step up and help your organisation as a...
Well,
would it come as a contractor or would it come as an employee? How does that work?
Well, we would be looking at both. We'll look at contractors and we will look at employees. We would look at initially employing Cert 3s and Cert 4s, but we would also look at giving people opportunities who have got good work ethics, that are perhaps have had some limited experience, but we could train them through a buddy system and a mentoring system through Cert 3 traineeships, because we believe that everybody has an opportunity to evolve in a workplace environment that is effective in their training and planning and leadership, and that's exactly what we want to do. We also want to not only be known as giving excellent care to our participants, but also having excellent staffing and trainee procedures in our business and be an employer of choice. And we want to have staff retention. We want to train our staff and mentor them and hold them, and we want them to work for us and stay with us for a very long time.
Bit of an Asian philosophy, long-term strategic thinking, isn't it?
Yes, and that we want to set the business up from the ground up with that mindset of holding our staff and keeping them with us for the long term.
Right, so I just clicked. I mean, you have to understand, we didn't give this any pre-publicity, but there's a lady who just clicked and and she's been doing, I know for a fact that she's been doing caring, length and breadth of from Noosa down to the border, and I know at times it's quite a struggle being a carer. You know, sometimes they themselves need caring. Sometimes the mental anguish can be bloody horrific, isn't it?
It can be a very full-on work, definitely. But then again, it can be amazingly rewarding work, and we really want to reward our staff and care for our staff and nurture them through the whole entire process of working for us and becoming Kaleidoscope Carer staff.
Yeah, and one of the things that you have mentioned, Jeffrey, is very important, because there are many families that are caring for their people with disabilities or older adults, and at some time they need help too. They need kind of like holidays from the caring role, and that's where we also step up, providing help to the carers that do it the whole year. So if they need, a time off, either a weekend or a week to recover, or because they have, other life events that need their attention elsewhere, we can take over the role and provide the care they themselves provide for their loved ones, with family nurturing intention. We are there to help the carers to recover enough so that they can continue providing the loving care that they provide to their loved ones in good conditions and in healthy ways.
Yeah, gotcha. That lady who, as I mentioned, been watching, she put a like there, and then all of a sudden she sent a comment there, so she wanted to know how to get in touch there. So there's the Facebook site, there's a website, and then there's email. Yeah. Now I noticed there's a mobile phone on the Facebook site, and you mentioned before Adama is your CEO, and that we just had a look at that. That mobile phone goes to her to take those phone calls. Is that what you want to be shown today, or you want to put out another phone number, or just stick with the email addresses?
That phone number goes to our reception staff. So that's okay. That is the same phone number. We have a 1-300 number, but that 1-300 number goes also to that mobile phone. So that's our business phone.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
So so somebody put their hand up and they wanted to be an employee that work for you. Would they be working in the normal sort of routine of say 9 o'clock to 5, or is it like 6 o'clock to 3, or are they working live-in 24/7, or live-in 3 days or something?
We are open. Initially, we are open Monday to Fridays from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. But we are going to have staff available for night shifts and weekend shifts.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And you actually alluded to say that Cert 3, you would actually help people get their Cert 3. Is that right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. So the minimum requirement is Cert 3, and obviously the progression is to go to Cert 4 and get a diploma. Or do they need to come with other precepts? So somebody comes as a pharmaceutical, a paramedic, or something from that, ambulance or surf life saving, or something that's a different industry to you, but they have similar humanitarian backgrounds. Can they put the hand up for apply, or what type of person are you looking for?
Sure. They will anyway need to get the certificate 3 in time. But initially, we will have people that are able to, there are tasks where you don't need a certificate 3 when you have proper support from the company, which is when you have, clean, wash. For these kind of tasks, you don't need a certificate 3. But we are aiming to have everyone that is working for us long term trained with at least a certificate 3 in individual support, either NDIS, disability, or aged care, or both, if they choose to in time to have it.
So coming to the it's really, this whole subject is really close to me. That's why I agreed to doing the show at last minute. Because of my mum and dad, I know how important it was to have a carer come in, how important it was for a carer to take either my mum or father up to the supermarket with the shopping list to get all the different foods.
Yeah.
How important it was to go and get new dentures, get the glasses, renew their driver's license, take them, because the banking industry is no longer a local branch where you have a relationship with tellers and you've known them for years. Now it's all online, and so eyesight's not the best, and you can actually make payments to the wrong individual. Like just getting the lawnmower man, and there's a whole range of issues there that when someone of my mum and dad have been in their 90s facilitating living at home. So I know for a fact that it's one of the best things that can ever happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we can make arrangements to do either through the government, through the care packages, or through private care, where we can take them to those optometrists, take them to the dental care, take them to the doctors or the specialists. So we can arrange for our care staff to do all of those appointments, because sometimes they've got caring families, but a lot of people have to work full-time jobs, and their partners have to work full-time jobs, and people are just time poor. It's not that they don't care or love their family, it's challenging for them to take them to these appointments. So that's where Kaleidoscope Care would come into play. We could assist with getting our care workers to drive them safely to those appointments and wait for them and bring them back home in a safe work environment.
So just taking that to the next step then. So would the carer require to take their own vehicle when they're taken to all these places, or would you have a company vehicle, or do you just go and ring up Uber and just get Uber or a taxi to take them to their various events then? And those chits, from the taxi or Uber, you just hand them over to NDIS, or how does that for a worker who's working for you?
The usual way that the sector does is that the worker has their own vehicle, and that we cover the use of the vehicle. The vehicle has to be fully insured, like with comprehensive insurance, and there is arrangements in their contract, in the workers' contract, for us to cover, the wear and tear and the petrol and so on. That's the usual way to do it. If the person we are supporting prefers Uber, then we are happy to do that. Like the arrangements, we talk about being flexible, because some people might say, I prefer to take, if they have a car, I prefer to take my car, because for me it's easier to jump from the car to carry my wheelchair in my car, and then so we will do that too. In that case, there is car insurance issues that we need to arrange, but we are flexible to provide the services that the person chooses to. One of the very important things is that we provide choice of care to the participants. They choose what services they want, how they want the services, and provided they don't run into high risks and so on, then we're happy to do what they require us to do, so that they can have the life they want with safety.
Hey, insurances, how does that work? If you're staying overnight at your client's premises, is there an insurance policy for people your carers staying at their house?
Our insurance provides for all that kind of services. Yeah, we are fully insured.
Yeah, because the moment you sort of walk into somebody's probably got the public liability carry on it. So if you're working from someone's personal home, is that something you just check with the actual homeowner, so if they've got household contents insurance for your staff who walk on the premises and might trip or have an injury? Or
once we get in, one of the things that we do at the start of the service is to go into the person's house and check for risks attached to the service. Not just risks for the participant, for the homeowner, but also for our workers. So we need to make sure that the participant and our workers are safe. And we do that. Like we have checklist, and we have risk policies and procedures, and that's all contained within those procedures. Yeah.
I have to say, just I move myself over here. I'm going to speak from personal experience here. I got to thank my brother for stepping up to the plate for our family, and if it wasn't for the fact that he happened to come over and my dad pulled out of the cupboard a loaf of bread, it was all cut, and he was making toast, and then Graham said, "Mate, how long you had this bread?" He said, "Oh, got it last week. It's just got all the bloody gone green, gone mouldy." And Graham had to go right through all the cupboards and the fridges there because Mum and Dad's eyesight, but it was just that dropped off to the point that we had to do something about it. Yeah. You don't realise, eh?
Yeah, and also taste buds, become you don't detect flavors anymore. So between, if you have poor eyesight and the taste buds don't detect that something is some foodstuffs are off, then there is the possibility of poisoning there.
Oh, for sure.
So
yeah.
that's why
true.
one of the and Lynda mentioned initially that we are going to provide continuity of care, and for people that have the package or the needs, our aim is to provide as many hours of service as possible within the financial constraints that they have and we have, so that the carer, that the worker, the support worker that provides the care can know where, open the cupboard and know where things are and when they were bought and how long that food has been there and so on and so forth. So it's like becoming, we are becoming the part of the family without being part of the family in terms of providing care.
I come back to my father because that gives me a personal connection to the story. And then, because Dad had this former nurse, and it's retired, but felt like she wanted to do something, and so she got into it. That ability to come in and have a nursing background, but more importantly, that human touch, and just have a communication about what's happening in the world today and what's happening in the local community. That's just, you can't put a dollar on it, eh? And so when this lady and her husband moved to another regional area, then my father got 5 different carers coming in over the course of 6 days, and my brother was just doing it as nothing because he had to give them his personal protocols about how to come into the property, how to get access. The dog's not going to bite you. The dog's there as family, and my brother set the standard and said, "No, we just want one person."
It's important.
Yeah.
And it's building the relationship. I mean, the elderly get very isolated because they can't go and socialize like they used to, and they can't go and visit people, and they get very they get incredibly lonely. So the care workers form part of their social network, and that socialization is incredibly important to them and gives them something to look forward to, either once a week or twice a week or on a daily basis. So when you've got one person or 2 people at the most coming in to see them, they can build a relationship. They get to know them, and they form part of their friendship pool, and it creates a very important part of their daily life.
Yeah.
Well, it also reflects back to their own siblings, isn't it? They think that your kids get hold of you and look after you.
Yeah, as you mentioned before, sometimes I mean, people they have their own children, they have small children, they have full-time jobs, and as much as they want to be there, they have to earn their money. I am saying that because my mom is she lives by herself. She's in overseas in another country, and I have the luck that my sister works part-time, and when she finishes at 2, then she can go. But sometimes my mom has to go to health appointments, and to hospitals and things like that, and that's in the morning. So my sister, she's lucky because she has a flexible a company that is flexible in their working hours to a certain point, and then she can take the day off and go with my mother. But some other people, they work in places that don't offer that flexibility. If they work in hospitals, or if they work in other places where they need to be there, or in small companies that can't allow people to take as many days as usual. And so they need people like us to step up and replace them a little bit in in that connection, in that caring. That's why we are there.
Well, Valeria, I'll put you a little details. I'll put it back up again. So, biological sciences. I mean, it's got a PhD. I mean, I know that means that you know how to say the word no. And when I say no, is when family and friends or acquaintances said, Valerie, listen, mate, we're going to the symphony orchestra, we're watching the show on, or sorry, can't do it. Got to study. Hey, listen, we're going to the beach. Want to come for a picnic? No, sorry, got to study. So PhD, it tells me straight away there's a lot of discipline and self-sacrifice to get over the line, to actually get forward with an academic qualification. And Lynda's no slouch either. So they're Bachelor of Business. So I'm actually fascinated how you two girls from different walks of life in different countries actually come together. I mean, that's a story in itself, isn't it?
Well, it's all through Adama.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, all through Adama. I was a client of Adama's, and that's how she I told her the story of my journey with aged care, and we had a very, I was managing a very holistic aged care facility in Sydney, and we just did things very differently down there. And then when she wanted to get into the disability care services, she said, would you come on as a consultant and help me set it up? And that's how my involvement came about. And then I met the lovely Valeria.
Yeah, and we hit it on.
Yeah,
no, we hit it off. Like,
yeah, we did.
What do you say?
Very lucky. I know. Just very same-minded.
Yeah, I think also our CEO Adama has this vision that is absolutely amazing, and of the and she is spot on in that there is a need there for clients that have taken care of themselves their whole life, and they get to a certain point in life where they need to give that care responsibility to someone else, and sometimes the people are there but they don't have the time, or some people, fortunately they are by themselves, or they are mostly by themselves, and they don't have a choice of care in terms of continuing with that holistic, natural, nurturing, healthy, well-being oriented care that they want to have in their from 50 years onwards. So here we are, and it was I think it is Adama's dream that brought us together, because it's quite I mean, we are just talking about a little bit of that dream at the moment, and the starting steps to that, but it's much bigger, I promise.
Well, very good. So
yeah,
anyone watching the show live now or watching the replays, certainly reach out if you need to. Make contact, and I'll just put up the website there, kcarers.com. Of course, the same name goes for facebook.com/kcarers. Email contact info@kcarers.com, and you come through to the mobile phone number 0422 02 86 91. And before we leave, is there anything else that I've neglected to bring to the attention of everybody listening or watching? Is there something that should have been said, that hasn't been said?
Actually, I'd like to explain why kaleidoscope care came. The name is all about, kaleidoscope means not only that tube with all these crystals that you see, lovely colors, which reflect our multicultural approach, but also a kaleidoscope of butterflies. And that this is what Adama explained to me the first time we talked about the project. A kaleidoscope of butterflies is a group of butterflies. And so she was saying, we go through all through our life being this, this pupa that, this worm that eats leaves, and then we go into this chrysalis, and then that shell breaks and we become this beautiful butterfly. And we all, after 50, we become those beautiful butterflies, to be free to go around and touch on all the flowers and do these beautiful things. And so I want to leave everyone with that image, because I think, it conquered my heart with that.
Mm.
Very good. Lynda, what do you got to say?
Oh no, I think that says everything about what we're trying to do, is to care for everybody in the highlight of their twilight years.
So I take it now you've moved from Sydney, you're living up here now.
I'm still in Sydney, so I will be doing a commute up here.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'm actually on the beautiful Hunter Valley, so I'm not actually in Sydney anymore. I'm in the Hunter Valley, so I will be commuting up here.
Oh, yeah, Cessnock or Scone or something.
Yeah, Pecolbin.
Okay. It's horse country too, isn't it?
Yeah. No, not so much. Scone is it's more wine country.
All right. Taste buds are on top of the tongue there, right?
Yeah.
Right. And what about you, Valerie? Where are you living these days?
Gold Coast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the lovely Gold Coast.
Yeah, 100%.
Dear to my heart.
Yeah. And obviously English is not your mother tongue. What's your mother tongue?
Spanish.
It is?
Yeah.
From the main homeland, or are you from South America?
South America.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
whereabouts?
So I talk from Chile.
Chile?
Yeah. So I talk Spanish with a little bit of a different accent and some different, let's say, language, with different wording for different things. It's like, US and Canadian. Australian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So what, Valparaiso or Santiago? Or
a little village in the what we call the Norte Chico, the Little North. But as like 50% of the Chilean population, we migrated to Santiago. So I always say, from Santiago. This is where my family is now.
Very spectacular. All right. Well, thank you, ladies, for coming. And
Thank you.
Let's keep in touch with how things have developed. And I'm sure I've got a heap of people who are currently working in the industry. I'm sure if you're looking for some of that suitably qualified staff, as one of them's already picked up on the fact, we do without any publicity, I'll send them your way.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us here today.
Yeah.
Well, if no one else tells you, I love you. It's very good. Yeah, that's important, isn't it? Three magic words. All right.